There was this young girl once who came to see me, visited me, and she was in a serious romantic relationship with this man. And she told me a story that gave me goosebumps. She told me that one day this boyfriend came to see her and gave her a checklist. Do you know what this checklist had? No? This checklist had all the things that he expects from this woman. So she explained it to me. It had that she needs to be beautiful, she needs to have this beautiful hair, a good job, a good education, and she need to have she should not be an introvert, she should be an extrovert. And not only that, she need to have tight body, figure, and she need to be able to bear children for him, and a house, a car, everything. You know what? When she was trying to fulfill those expectations, fulfill that checklist, she became depressed. She was suffering with severe anxiety. She was having anxiety attacks all the time because whatever that she does, she could not satisfy this man. Because the checklist, the list of the things that this boyfriend expected, it doesn't end. She tried many things. She changed her appearance. She changed the way she talks, the way she behaved, the people that she associated. But no, the list went on. So then, tell me, when those check boxes are not fulfilled, when we can't fulfill the other person's check boxes, then what will happen? And we all have expectations from other people as well, right? Think about it. The people that you associate, your parents, your friends, your best friend, they expect things from us. And they all give us a list of check boxes. And they want us to fill their check boxes. What are these check boxes? Expectations. They all want those expectations to be fulfilled by us, your children, your husbands, your boyfriends, and your teachers. All the while, you risk life and limb to be that person that can fill all those check boxes. And what comes next? Next, the grief, the disappointments, the frustrations, anxiety. And the worst part is depression. I mean, when will it all end? Think about it. Why are we expecting others to fill our check boxes? I mean, what's the point? Because we expect things from the outside world, the people that we associate. We think that if they check our check boxes, then we can be happy. Can you? If that is so, then I urge you to change that definition of happiness. If you think that filling those check boxes would give you happiness, then your happiness is dependent on another person. Then I urge you to change the definition of that happiness. Do you think that is real happiness? Because your happiness is always dependent. What kind of happiness is that? But that's fine, because we all know only one kind of happiness. Filling the check boxes and making sure that our check boxes are fulfilled. Why? Because the very moment that you tick that checkbox, you become happy. You think you're happy. But are you? Then why are you still struggling to fill the same checkbox? I'll give you a good example. In my lay life, I had a list of checkboxes. We all do, right? So in my university life, I wanted to, like all the girls there, I also wanted to have a slim figure. So then what did we do? we woke up around 4 a.m. in the morning, and we went to the university grounds, and we were running, and not only that, we did 100 sit-ups. Can you believe doing 100 sit-ups? I mean, what kind of suffering is that? But no, we wanted to tick that, the weight, the measurement around your waist. I mean, come on, those are the kind of check boxes that we all had or have. But the very moment that you check that checkbox, that is when you measure your weight after maybe a month of hard work, going to gymnasium and having low calorie food, and maybe having diets, doing all those things over and over and over again. And at one point, you are going to go to the gymnasium and check your weight. And imagine that moment, you tick that checkbox. What do you feel? You feel relieved. You feel relief and you feel happy, don't you? Do you think that that happiness is worth your time? Do you think that is real happiness? If so, then why can't you just let it go? The next moment, can you go to the cafeteria or maybe somewhere the best restaurant in the town, and eat and stuff your tummy with everything that you can get? Can you do that? You can't. Imagine this. Now you're on a diet and you want to control your weight and you want to have a slim figure. So you are given this your favorite food. You are given your favorite food. And imagine that moment that someone says it's a chocolate lava cake and you can have any amount of it. You can have every piece of it. But can you? No? Yes, you can't. Because in your mind, you know it's a high calorie diet. I can't have it. I mean, in your mind, you know really well that no matter what you do, you can't have it. It's like that carrot that is hung in front of you. You can smell it, but you can't have it. But you can't. But that is overwhelming. That is tantalizing. It's like that chocolate lava cake is talking to you. Come, I'll make you happy. Come, a little bit of this and that. This, you can almost sense that watery feeling in your tongue. The feeling that this lava cake is going to give you one single bite, 2 or 3. You need to have it all, but you can't. Imagine that feeling. Do you like that feeling? Do you? No, none of us do. We don't like that feeling, do we? But the very moment that you take the first bite, you forget that feeling. The checkbox says tick. But imagine, what did you pass? You passed a huge amount of pressure. You passed a huge amount of urge. You passed a huge amount of frustration in order to get there. But you don't know that, do you? I want you to think about this. I want you to question whether that is the real happiness that you want in your life. Is that the purpose of your life? I mean, we are human beings. We need to do a little bit more. We can do extra. We have to find the real answer. There is another sort of happiness. And you'll ask me, what is that? What is the other option that we have? We only have one option, that to eat the cake. What is the other option? Please tell me. Yes, I'm going to tell you. Imagine you have an itch in your arm. Okay, it's a mosquito bite, okay? There's this blister in your arm that you want to scratch so badly. You want to scratch it so badly. But then, once you scratch it, it becomes worsened. But the pleasure, that sensational feeling that you get, you like it, don't you? So you scratch it again, and again, and again. Will the scratching stop? Will that itch give you happiness? No. It continues. Until when? Until you can no longer bear that pain that is coming from that the pus that is oozing out of it will make you stop. Imagine this. Now, you have two options. The one option is to scratch it over and over, scratch your itch. And the other option, now weigh these two options, okay? The other option is not having the itch. What do you think about that? Don't you like to not have this itch? Not have this blister? Think about this. There is another option. I want you to give that option because you have this MCQ, this multiple choice paper with you, and you think it only has one answer. No, it has many more answers, especially the right answer is not there with you. I want you to experience the right answer. I want you to experience this real happiness. The real happiness doesn't depend on people. The real happiness doesn't depend on your boyfriend filling your check boxes. The real happiness doesn't depend on you filling their check boxes. Sometimes your mother comes to you and tells you, well, if you gives you this checkbox and tells you, if you fill these things, but no. And then the son comes, Mom, I'm hungry. Could you please make me something to eat? And could you please do this and that and the other? Could you please change like this? If you change like that, I'll be a good son. These are the expectations that other people impose on you. So you have to suffer. But tell me, when will it stop? Expecting things from the others and these expectations that you have, because of those, your happiness becomes dependent. And that is not the real happiness. The real happiness is independent of all those people and the things that you think that belongs to you. Imagine not having that suffering, that urge that you get. When you see this, let's assume the chocolate lava cake, when you actually see it, you don't get the urge to eat it. You're free from those relentless urges those are nightmares, I know. You're free from those. Imagine that happiness. You don't need to do things to be happy. You are happy. That particular feeling I'm talking to, don't you want to experience? Don't you want to taste that happiness? That is what I'm going to give you. That is what we have. That is the real happiness. Now you might say, I am happy. I am happy in my life. Yes, I fill my husband's check boxes and he fills mine and we are fine. I mean, if he fills my check boxes, if I fill his check boxes, then what's the problem? We are fine, we are happy. Are you really? This is the time to ask this question. So let's take an example. Now, you want your husband to come home early. Now you're waiting for them, or the boyfriend to come home early. You're waiting for them. And at one point, you get this question that, what if something happens to him? Maybe there's a long drive from the office to the home, and you're waiting for him to come home. So after a while, he's not there. So you call him, he doesn't answer at all. So now little by little, we get this feeling of frustration. I know some of the Mahatmas are smiling because I know I've been there, done that, and I bought the t-shirt as well. So I know this is the feeling that you get waiting for somebody that you love, waiting for somebody that can fill your check boxes. So then you wait for them. Do you like that period of waiting? No, nobody does. Because no matter what you say to your mind, no matter what you say to your mind to make it disappear, or maybe you can tell any story to your mind, but you know that feeling is not comfortable. You know that feeling. You know how you feel agitated within you. You know how you feel frustrated. You know how you feel fear of losing that person. What if something happened to him? What if he met with an accident? You can put any example to that. Your child maybe, your brother, your sister, your parent, when they are late, when you are waiting for them, That knock on the door, you're waiting for that single knock on the door, aren't you? So, do you like that feeling? That is, I'll tell you a synonym for that. That is, your arms are tied behind your back and you have an itch. How do you like that? Your arm, there's an arms are tied behind your back and you have an itch that you can't scratch. You want to scratch it so badly, but you can't. You want them to come home so badly, but you can't. You want it, but you can't have it. That's the feeling I'm talking about. Do you get it? Do you know what I'm talking about, this feeling? Do you like it? To be honest, I didn't like it. I hated that feeling. I hated waiting for people. I hated it. So I wanted answers. That's why I came here. I wanted answers. I want to give you answers. If you have this question, how to get rid of those relentless urges that you have in your life, those frustrations, the things that take your sleep away at night, we have the answer. So think about that knock on the door, that face that you want to see. So you are waiting for them now. And every single minute that is passing, every single hour is like it's burning you within. And at one point, you unfold your arms, you untie that knot that is around your arms, and now you can scratch your itch. They come and they knock on the door, and you're happy. You think you're happy, right? But that happiness that I'm talking about right now, that happiness, that sense of relief that comes right now, can it appear without the underlying condition that you just experienced? Can you experience that relief without the underlying frustration or this urge that you experienced? Can it? No, can't. It's a package deal. If you want that happiness, then you need to have that particular frustration as well. Altogether, it's a package deal. Do you like it? Nobody likes it. So do you want that blister? Just because you can have that feeling of happiness every time you scratch it, do you want that blister? Or do you want to get rid of it? Yes, of course, when you see that person, you are so happy, you hug them, you want to have dinner with them, and the story goes on. But the next day, the same thing happens. The next day, again, the same thing happens. When will it end? Is there an ending? I want you to have the ending, because we have the ending. We do, we really do. Come join us, and we can give you that ending of all sufferings. The fear of losing, anticipation, wanting more, those urges, there is an answer. We always think that when we check those check boxes, when we meet their expectation, when we do something to fill their mind with happiness, we will be happy. So we do so many things, but it doesn't end, because we have given the key to our happiness to everybody that we associate. So now you're like this robot that does everything within your power 24/7 to fill those check boxes. You want your check boxes to be filled as well. All the while you want others to fill your check boxes. So think about this. There is another option, another choice. This choice I discovered from these great teachers. The choice of freedom. Because it's enough. You have been slaves to those things and people for so long. It's enough. You can be free. You can be free from that slavery. And we are here for you. Join hands with us, and we will give you liberation. We will give you the salvation from all those sufferings